Yo, what's up? This is First coming at you from the Comeback Kids. I want to welcome you to our next installment of the not daily class. You know what? We got to change the name of this series, and you'll see it on the intro. We're gonna call this series "Clashing with the Comeback Kids." Originally, we started calling this Daily Clash, and the joke was that I'd make a video every day that I felt like making a video. And the reality is that just they don't come out every day. We don't have we got stuff to do. We got jobs. We got school. We got whatever. And so I'm going to come on here. I'm going to do videos when we got something to talk about, and when we don't, then we won't do a video that day. And that's pretty much what's been going on anyway. So we'll just adjust the name, and this is the Clashing with the Comeback Kids. We want to welcome you to our next installment. We appreciate you coming on to check us out. We did just finish a war a couple of days ago. It was our closest war. We were victorious, but it took a real comeback, so we lived up to our names. It also dropped our only loss off of our board here, so we've now won 10 straight. Before they had that one red loss, so we're 13-1, but we won 3, lost 1, and now we've won 10 straight. And some of them have been against inactive clans, but a number of them have been against very good clans. You could see that the 48 stars that we got was second highest that we've received. We got 49 a couple of wars ago, but 48 to 47. There were some really clutch moments in this raid, or in this war. You can see the average destruction. They actually got 0.1% higher average destruction, so that's kind of funny. It was tied up going into the very end, into the last few minutes, and what's weird is that we actually scouted their bases, and they had armies ready to go in the last minutes. They had one guy had all drags, I think another guy had almost all hogs, and we thought they'd try to pick up another star or two to beat us, and because it's not like they were winning, we were tied, and but they didn't attack. But we did. We got I was lucky enough that I could go after a base with only 1 star, and I used dragons and was able to pick up the second star. But there were some much bigger clutch moments leading up to that point. Like I said, I was lucky to have a 1-star base I could go after. Sunny here, with 37 minutes left, went after a 2-star base and picked up the 3rd star. And it's never, no matter what level the base is that you're raiding. Unless it's like a Town Hall 5 or 6 or something, or even a 7, because they only got 2 air defenses. But if you're attacking Town Hall 8, you just don't know. Stuff happens. Seeking air mines, air defenses, your dragons are unpredictable. It is not a guarantee that you're going to get the 3rd star. And so that was huge. Number 5 there with 45 minutes left, got the 3rd star on a base. I'm pretty sure he used hogs. And so that was clutch. Those 2 raids right there picked up 2. Every star is needed when you win by 1. And so those were clutch. Now I want to show you a replay here of Lobster Boy, who with 2.5 hours left 3-starred a Town Hall 9. Now it didn't have the highest level air defense. There was a level 3, 4, 2 4s, and a 5 air defense. But it doesn't matter. When you've got a Town Hall 9, you got 4 air defenses, you got 4 seeking air mines, which almost completely get rid of a dragon. You've got, I think, 6 archer towers. You've got 4 Teslas. They're all doing pretty good damage to a drag. Not as much as the air defense, but they're doing pretty good damage. And there's just a lot of buildings to get through. And he did it with relative ease. When I hit replay here, it'll show you how much time it took him. 2 minutes? It was crazy. His drag is ripped through the base. So 2 minutes and 8 seconds. And I'm going to go double time here. But you could see his drag start on the left, and his air defense being set to ground was helpful, although air defenses don't do that much damage against drags. Although those air defenses are level 3s, so they would have done pretty good damage. Which is kind of curious why he would upgrade his air defenses to level 3. That costs, I'm currently trying to do that right now, and it costs 7 million per expo. But meanwhile, he's got a level 3 air defense sitting there, so probably be wise to upgrade air defense. So you can see he's just ripping through the base, and at this point he's got 3 of the 4 air defenses gone, and he's got I don't know if he's got any more healing spells or not. It doesn't look like, oh yeah, no, the guy did have an archer queen. Lobster Boy only has one level 1 Archer Queen because he just got to Town Hall 9. In fact, I'll bet he doesn't even have the extra 20 spaces in his army yet because I think he's been on Town Hall 9. Well, maybe he does. I think he got Town Hall 9 a few weeks ago. So he maybe has had time to... So he did 11 drags, and he's got some... let me see, that's 10... no, I think he still got the 200 army spaces, and one of those was a Clan Castle drag. And so, this is incredible that he used 200 army spaces and a level 1 hero there, and still 3-starred that base. And Sunny1717 preaches the gospel that is dragons with healing spells. And some guys like to still use rage spells, but I think if this right here is not a testament to the truth that is the dragons with healing spells, and go all drags, that is a winning raid strategy. I don't know what else will convince folks, because the healing spells did their job in this one, and those are very good. Those are level 5 healing spells, so very high level. So yeah, I wanted to bring that to you. And yeah, it was a really fun war. A lot of guys on at the end to go. We had 5 unused raid attacks. So that was disappointing. We haven't had that. That was the most unused raids we've had since we started, and so we've got to clean that up. We did end up having to kick one of the guys out of the clan. Shy Killer, number 14 there, he didn't use either of his raids. We had a couple guys that could only use one raid. We don't like to see that. We like everyone to use both their raids, and stuff happens. I'd say they're on probation, and if we see a pattern, we may have to do something about it. But we're pretty close-knit clan here. We don't like to bang heads together, but we gotta get those raids done. Everyone's got to use their raids, because you never know if it was going to come down to 1 star, and in this case it did. So this war, I also want to talk about another issue that's been brought up by a lot of other YouTubers, but not talked about much since the last update. So if you recall, the last update started live raiding, or live raid watching. Right here, it's too late. I can't press it because the raid's already, I guess, gone too far, or maybe there's too many people already watching. But normally when a raid starts, you'll be able to watch live and see that raid as it's going on. That's a new part of the update. Before, you would just see these swords going back and forth, and you'd see when they had 25% or 50% or 75%. And so, it's been a lot of fun to watch, but that's not really what I want to talk about. I want to talk about ghosting. Now, when someone ghosts, for those of you that don't know what ghosting is, or ghost raiding, it's when you go into a base, and I'll show you, number 9 here is my recommended target. I don't know if I'm going to raid him or not, but let's say I hit attack. So I've got 30 seconds now to decide, where to put my troop or that kind of thing. And if I were to disconnect my iPad from the internet, put it into airplane mode, or disconnect the Wi-Fi, it would not kill the raid immediately. I would still have a chance to drop troops, maybe look where some of the Teslas are, some of the giant bombs. There is a limit. I think that maybe every 30 seconds or 45 or a minute or something, the game checks internet connection. Oh, someone's attacking Kramer. You know what? Let's go ahead and watch live and see how they do. They're probably doing dragons. He's got an archer there on the top. I really have no idea what's going to happen here. They don't seem to be dropping any troops. I think he's trying to draw out that hero, that king. He's going to take out the king. My guess is he's setting up for a hog raid. They're trying to kill. Sorry, this is not as exciting when you can't speed through it. But they killed the clan castle, they got rid of the king, and yeah, here come the hogs. So Kramer's he's got to have double giant bombs somewhere in here. Let's hope. There's one bomb up on the top, so that's wasted by itself. He's not going to be able to... Oh, there's some spring traps there. Get another healing spell. Oh, you know what? It looks like there's two giant bombs down there that they already triggered. Yeah, and he's already got one. Looks like there's two up there too. Yeah, it looks like all 4 giant bombs, so it's over. I mean, there's this raid. We don't even need to watch. He's going to 3-star him. Yeah, doesn't look like the giant bombs were in places that that could help, and yeah, that's unfortunate. We gotta analyze. We're gonna get out of this because there's no sense in watching the Hogs just annihilate the rest of the base. But let's scout that since they're gonna 3-star. He's got double bombs there, and he's got double bombs there, and they triggered both of them. Wow, the fact that they knew that they were already there maybe bolsters my case, or maybe that's such a big open area, now that I'm looking at it, and there's no walls, that he could just drop a troop. You know, those spawning areas in the middle of your base. That may be the case. So we gotta obviously work on where we drop the bombs, the double bombs. But looks like he's gonna get 3-starred. Yep, and he did just get 3-starred, and so that's certainly not good. So what I'm talking about, though, let me get back to the point I was trying to make: ghosting. So in the past, you would see these swords fighting, and when someone was ghost raiding you, the swords would just fight and fight and fight for a minute or 2 minutes, and then they would go away, and it was like the battle never happened. And what happened there was the war was initiated, or the battle was initiated, and they never dropped a troop. But because there was no internet connection, they weren't sending the message that they hadn't dropped a troop, and so it looked like the war was still going on. So it didn't do anything to stop ghosting. In fact, but it gave us a heads up that they were actually ghosting, and you could write a message in your clan message or whatever that you guys suck, you're ghosting, whatever. It doesn't do anything. But with the new update, some folks thought that because you could watch live, that would stop ghosting. That no one could ghost anymore because now people can watch you. Of course, who cares? I mean, if you're shameless, if you're a cheater to the point, somebody else is going. I'm not going to watch this one live, but So here's my point with the update. The reason it actually has made it worse is because that right there, if I were to hit the watch live button, they've already dropped troops. That won't come up until you've actually dropped troops. And so that's the change that has occurred. Before, the moment you hit the attack button, those swords would come up. And so if you didn't drop a troop, it was very clear it would go away. But now, if you go into attack, if I go into number 9 and I hit attack, no swords are going right now. And if I disconnect the internet, there will still be no swords going. And if I initiate in fact, I ought to do that. I ought to put my iPad in airplane mode, except I wouldn't be able to record this video because I think I need the internet connection to be able to stream this to my recording software. But I need to get out of this raid because I don't have the troops for it. But Supercell, for some reason, has actually now made it even easier to hide the fact that you're ghosting. And there were several cases in the most recent war that somehow they knew exactly where our double bombs were. Exactly. And I don't know if maybe they just are really good at deducing where they were, because those are the open spots. But in some cases, they were on bases that could have multiple spots for double bombs, and they still knew where they were. And we got hogged a lot in the last war because of that. And because guys weren't putting the bombs next to each other as well. But so I believe ghosting is happening just as much now, if not more than before, and it's even easier for these guys to hide it because you don't even know that they're ghosting you because there's no swords coming up. So Supercell it seems to me, would have a very easy time fixing this. All they'd have to do is when I hit attack, rather than going into the screen, they could have one more confirmation saying, are you sure you want to attack? And if you hit yes, the moment you go into the screen, even if you don't drop any troops, you still have the opportunity. I'm tongue-tied. It still counts. And if you don't drop any troops, you get 0 stars and you've wasted a raid. But for some reason, Supercell doesn't do that. Why not? It's beyond me, but they don't. So anyway, I don't have a shield, and I've got some troops here, so we could do a little farming raid. It's not my normal farming army because I just kind of trained a random bunch of troops. But yeah, I don't want to bore you guys with finding bases, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off now, and I'll go ahead and raid offline, and we'll see how these war raids go. Whether they're using drags or hogs, that seems to be the most prevalent attack strategy. This war that we're fighting is against a pretty committed clan. They've won a lot of wars, 22, and so it's going to be a tough one. What's also interesting is if you look at their Town Hall 9s, they're almost all the same base design. So you can see the square with the outer square, the cannons are in little mini boxes on the corners, and then walls that jut from side to side with, I'm sure, spring traps in between there to kill the hogs. And this is the Town Hall 10, same exact design. And this is the Town Hall 9, same exact design. And this is the Town Hall 9, same exact design. So they're either geniuses because they found the best anti-hog base or anti-air base. It's actually got some anti-hog features, and also with those air defenses in that box, it's got some good anti-air features as well. So they've either got the best design ever, or we're going to figure out a way to beat it, and we're going to be able to take them all down. So we got our work cut out for us, but I've never seen it where they have the exact same design. And if this works, maybe we need to all copy the same design as well. Who knows? So anyway, that's it for me. Sorry I went on with the ranting over the ghosting. It's just there is no integrity to a player who ghosts, and there's also no integrity to the company that allows it to continue happening when it can be fixed. And maybe there's something I'm just not thinking of as to why it hasn't been fixed. I hope it's not because they feel like they'll lose players who like to ghost, and they like collecting money for gems from those guys. That seems a little bit far-fetched. I think they just had other priorities, and they don't make any money from stopping ghosting. People haven't quit over it, and it gives idiots like me a chance to gripe about something. So maybe that's why they're doing it, or why they're not doing anything about it. So anyway, keep on clashing, and we will talk to you in the next video. Peace out.